good evening, everyone, and welcome to this RTG Thursday tier race live on RTG TV. And we're here for the third round in Canada at the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. The track length is 4.361 kilometres. It's 2.71 miles in length. It's got 14 corners, 3 DRS zones, but only 2 detection points here as well. And we've got 35 laps to run in this race. And we first came here in 1978. Getting on to the standings, Paul Jones leading the pack into this third round with 56 points, 55 points for Matthew in second. Chuckle is third with 46 points, 33 points for Queeks Gamer, and Pippo Kennedy is sitting in fifth place on 30 points. Aston Martin are leading the championship by 72 points. Alfa Romeo on 69 points and 53 points for the Mercedes duo. As you can see, we've got 20 cars here this evening, so we're going to get 5 knocked out in Q1, 5 in Q2, and then we'll have the top 10 shootout for Q3. Apologies for last night. PlayStation Network went down, so of course you only saw the qualifying, or almost the end of qualifying, and the race was subsequently cancelled. So unfortunately, it'll be a 9-race season from the time of this recording. But yeah, anyway, back with Lee, of course, this evening after he joined briefly last night. Well, we both were there briefly, and he was away last week where we were in Belgium in the Thursday tier where Paul Jones won that race. How you doing, Lee?
Yeah, doing all good. Looking forward to this race here as well. Some of you may know it was 1978 that did the first Open, but it was the 6th of October, so it's just turned 45 years old, sorry. Jumping into a bit of my Dundonian dialect there. But yeah, so I reckon it's going to be a good race. We've got a full grid here tonight, so yeah.
And it's definitely one of the circuits that we can certainly see some good racing as well, as we're watching Royal Rumble on his first attempt, just ending Sector 2 as he makes his way through that chicane before the hairpin of Turn 10, a place where you might see some overtakes. We've got a 1:13.829 for Lewis there. He sets the first lap in qualifying. Apologies, I thought it was Royal Rumble that was first. The last time we were here was last season in Wednesdays, and if anyone does remember who's watching, it was the race where there was chaos with rain in the race, where it was sort of light and then heavy, and we had people on the slick tyres at some points along with the intermediates, and then we're going into his wets. It was all going on in terms of strategy. As Royal Rumble crosses the line, goes provisionally first in Q1 with a 1:12.389. So that pole time from last season, it was in the dry. That was from Chuckle, who of course is here this evening as well, with a 1:10.192. So we're about 2.2 seconds off that so far, Lee, but obviously the times do ramp up as we go through this session and then the subsequent ones after that.
Oh yeah, definitely. The times always do certainly ramp up, as we're seeing while racing. Matt's just putting a blinder there, a 1:11.6. So we've seen times already start coming down to 1:11.3. We're getting closer and closer to that 1:10. So yeah, it's going to be a good one.
So, as you said, Lewis G just finished his lap Perm Bowden going into Turn 10. And there's a car actually off the circuit there. It looked like it was a Haas. As Short Marcus sets his first time, but it was on the intermediate. A very good time actually for an intermediate time in the Intermediate Championship. The driver who's new this evening, Gizomi. God, I knew it was going to come. Oh no, I'm making it worse, aren't I? As he goes provisionally first, and we've had Bugatti. Something come up on the screen there. Has he been disqualified from the session?
No, Prodigy's got a grid penalty.
Oh no!
For a collision with the Pretender.
So how are we gonna deal with this tricky situation we've got, Lee? With the driver who's sitting pretty in first at the moment. Juz?
Sorry. But
How are we going to deal with what we what we call him? Because yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep a straight face at all as a pretender makes his way into the pits. I have seen some funny online names. Obviously, we have commentators on crossplay ones. Obviously, this is just PlayStation only. But yeah, that's up there with what some of the funny, difficult.
you know what? I'd feel honestly bad if this was like this person's like name or like surname or something.
Oh my days. Oh my days. It's Chuckle.
And now I've just made it a lot worse.
yeah, that could potentially be worse. Ross G on the medium tyre, and he's going faster than his lap he did before. We saw drivers last night in qualifying going on to the medium tyres as he goes through the chicane of turns 8 and 9. Looked like he cut the corner there, but maybe it was just the camera angle we was shown as going to turn 10. Tricky corner here. I'm not really sure if he's on a flyer here, Lee, actually, because he was quite conservative with how he took the exit of turn 10. Didn't get anywhere near close to the wall. But maybe he is. But looks like he is. As he goes through the wall of champions, he pulls over to the left-hand side. Not really needing to do that in qualifying, of course, to get the straightest run, but no matter, he's gone fastest with a 111.241.
Short Marcus spun coming out of turn 9 there.
Is he on the inters? Yeah, he is.
Yep. No, you don't want to be doing that, especially on the intermediates.
And if anyone who hasn't watched RTG before, who's on the live stream right now, we do something in Q1. It's not mandatory. It's an optional decision, just a little bit of fun. We call it the Intermediate Championship, where drivers in Q1 set their first lap, not their only lap or anything like that. They do move on to a slick set of tyres, but they set their first lap on the intermediate, and everyone challenges each other's times, and we're going to keep a log for who comes out on top at the end of the season. But the Intermediate Championship, yeah, it's just a Q1 bit of fun that 4 drivers are taking part in right now, as Paul Jones invalidates his lap, so his intermediate lap won't count. And Koik's deciding to get involved as well. Look how close it is between him and Chuckle, actually.
Just 1/100th of a second between the pair of them. Now, I think I did see Leahy's invalidated his time. But we've got Chuck just coming around turns 13 and 14 and just narrowly missing the wall of champions there across the line. 1:10.988, so we've got the first person into the 1 minute 10s here. We'll see, is anybody going to have a challenge for that? We've got Lee coming across the line. And oh no, he invalidated, did he?
He did, yeah. I think it's Bugatti up next. Yeah, as he makes his way towards the line, goes to 6th place, and he was knocked out in Q2 last week in Belgium. If you haven't watched that one, make sure you check that one out, along with Monday this week as well. As I said, unfortunately, round 3 of the Wednesday deal was cancelled due to PlayStation Network issues. Surprisingly, not an EA fault, just PlayStation overall. So yeah, that one's just been struck off the calendar. It hasn't been postponed. It'll be a 9-race calendar going forward. Is RTG Lee still going forwards around turn 10 as he goes down towards the final chicane and to the wall of champions. DRS open for the Alfa Romeo driver as he makes his way under the Rolex bridge and hits the brakes at the 100-metre board. Take as much curb as you dare as he goes through the wall of champions, stays to the right-hand side, goes to the line and goes fifth fastest with a 111.3.
Yeah, we've got Pretender just up behind, and he puts in a 111.8, cementing him into 8th place for now until, well, I don't even know who that was. It just crossed the line.
And Looney Man crosses the line, goes 8th, just behind his teammate. Kieran will be up next as he's going around turn 10 right now.
So we jump on board with him as 11 and 12 not actually really corners in these type of cars, but here it is going right to the final chicane. DRS is going to be wide open here on the final stretch to the line. The times you're going to be putting in a 113.3. And I would say he's got a bit of improving to do if he's going to want to make it through.
So we've got two drivers now on their next laps after, I think, going on the intermediates. If they didn't, they did invalidate. And Matthew will be first of the two, the second being Prodigy.
It's just coming around up to turn 12 now. DRS will be wide open here. See what he's going to be doing, because he's trying to take as much of that curve as possible and run out as wide as he can. And there we go, 1 minute 10.490.
So getting close to the time that Chuckle set when we were here in season 12. Of course, he took pole last week as well in Belgium, so hopefully he's on a pole streak for his sake. But obviously we've still got the end of this qualifying session to go, and then one more before we can even really talk about pole positions. As Prodigy makes his way to the line, sitting in 19th at the moment, goes up to second with a 110.7.
Well, that's exactly where he got last week out in Spa, was second place in qualifying. So he'll be hoping that he could improve here tonight and get that pole position. But we've got Paul Jonas here just coming down into the turn 13, 14 chicane now. Not using as much of that curb, but on the exit, playing it a wee bit cautious, but he comes to the line at 111.1, puts him into 5th place.
Paul Jones hasn't been so strong in qualifying this season, but his race results so far in the first two races have been stellar, seeing as he's sitting pretty at the top of the standings. But yeah, 5th place for him at the moment, around 7/10 or so off the provisional first time of Matthew in this Q1 session. So Coix is on a lap. Obviously his last lap was set on the intermediate tyres, that's why he's down in 20th at the moment. He's got a Williams up ahead of him. Oh, almost got right in the way there. I'm not sure if he impeded, looked like he did, but I wonder if Coix actually got away with it there. But he did have to steer out of turn 9 rather quickly, didn't he? So
yeah, it was short Marcus there, unfortunately. I hope it didn't hinder Coix at all, as he's just coming up to the line. Managed to get that car stretched right out, enough scraping the World Champions there, and he puts in a 110.848, putting him into 3rd place.
And now he goes down to 4th as Ross G goes to 2nd. So the Red Bulls and the Aston Martins looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are.
And of course, talking about those two, yeah, well, Aston Martin, I was going to say Red Bull, but they're actually bottom of the standings at the moment. Polar opposites with Aston Martin sitting at the top as Chuckle goes onto the front row in Q1.
Yep, so got Stuart Marcus on a lap, same with the Lewis. Oh, Just on me, just getting a wee bit shaky in the rear. Just as he's coming around turn 2.
Who was this, sorry? Oh, Pam Bowling.
It was the Alpine driver sitting in ninth.
Oh. Just owe me. I'm going to have to get over it.
You're too childish, man. Short Marcus still coming to the line to see what he's going to do.
110.5. Our professionalism is being strained this evening. We're usually pretty good. Outside of live streams, we're not very mature. We tried to be. But that Alpine driver is pushing us to our limits, I think.
Yep, certainly. We've got Lewis coming to the line. He's sitting in 11th right now with 111.3. Right, I hate this game for that.
Yeah, no, he was. No, I think he was already out, so he'd done maybe invalidated or had a mistake, because I think he did a cool down lap and is going again. Got a yellow flag in sector 3 at the moment, but there you go, just got a glimpse of it. 1.5 minutes left in the session, but as he goes through the first chicane, he gets a bit of a snap of oversteer, and that might cost him dear. But it looked like he was still up in his time. I didn't catch it, but he looked like I saw a minus sign rather than a plus. He goes into turns 8 and 9 and to the end of sector 2. And what is he going to get? No, he's just over 1 second down his time, but I think again Lee, he's just going slowly, keeping that battery charged up, and he's got enough time to start again. Is Lee's going sorry, not Lee, the other Alfa Romeo driver, Paul Jones, going slowly. Just trying to work out who now are on laps, Lee, because I think we've got a few drivers queuing.
Winnieman is on a lap, sitting with Danny as well.
He's got they've got a couple of cars ahead of him, Lee. There's a bit of a queue to get started on the lap, but I think he's got enough space there to get going, as we've got 20 seconds left on the clock.
Yep, Winnieman coming to the line. See if he's going to be able to get out of the elimination zone. Yes, he does. He moves up to 10th place with a 111.192. And we're going to be able to see if the other McLaren's going to be able to get out. No, he isn't.
He's not going to get out. No, he's sorry to cut you off. Yeah, he's out. Kieran making his way to the line now. Can he save himself? Down in 19th at the moment. He goes up to 18th, but he's still going to be out. He was out in Q1 last week. He's going to be out in Q1 this week, along with Danny as well, who was out in Q1 last time out.
No, it's just down to the two Ferraris, Racing Martin, the Pretender, and Perm Bowden, who just smashed it into the wall there at turn 9 there. Just at the same place that Danny hit the wall, so it's all down to the Ferraris. Racing Martin's going to have to improve, or he could be at risk of being eliminated by his own teammate.
No, he goes 13th down the Pretender.
What's he going to do?
He goes 16th, and he's also out.
So that is practically the end of qualifying. Just got Winnieman coming back into the pit lane right now.
Racing Matt gets through this time around. He didn't last week. He was knocked out in Q1. The other four drivers, bar Royal Rumble, were out in Q1 last week. Perm Bowden started 20th last week as well in Spa. He's starting 20th this week at the Gilles Villeneuve circuit. So Racing Matt, the only one to get out of Q1 that didn't last week.
Yeah, I would say, I think Perm Bowden, his reason is he's just recently moved on to no assist, so that could be the reason for his unfortunately slow pace right now. But we've got the end of the first of three qualifying sessions here this evening. We've got Matthew, who takes first place in the first qualifying session. Short Marcus in P2, just closely behind Chuckle in P3 and Ross in P4. got to say, all them four within the top a tenth of each other. Then it was Prodigy, Coyotes Gamer, Chuck, Pipple Kennedy, Paul Jones Jr., Looney Man, Jizomi, Lewis, Racing, Matt, Lee, Bugatti, Sloven, and the five that are being eliminated. Adam will be starting in their respective positions come the race. Is the Pretender in 16th, Danny in 17th, Kieran in 18th, 19th is Roy Rumble, and 20th is Perm Bowden. And also was seen, I forget who it was that got the 5th place grid penalty. Was it Pipple Kennedy?
Prodigy.
Prodigy, sorry, yeah. The other P. So, Q2 starting to see the clouds come over a bit more, so we could possibly see it start to rain, possibly even halfway through the session. So we're going to see possibly a big cluster of cars come out. But it's actually surprising I'm not seeing that right now. Now we'll go see McLaren of Looney Man.
And the Alpine and a Mercedes as well, all coming out in tandem, as well as a Red Bull as well. So people getting on with it early on. Does that mean there may be rain coming? Medium tyres for Lewis as well.
Oh, a bit risky there, I would say, considering everybody else is on soft compound.
What year was it the rule changed for the tyres? Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before. No.
I think it was the start of last year it changed.
Yeah, it was. Start of last year it was changed.
Of course, we're talking about the old rule where medium tyres would usually be used in Q2 to try and get your way through into Q3. Because that would have been the tyre you were starting on. Of course, they scrapped that, so you get a choice of any tyres. And there's definitely pros and cons to both rules. I'm not sure which one I prefer now. The more we've used this, it was the old rule. It was before they changed it back. They did do this years and years ago. But it's nice to see you can get sort of a mixture of three tyres on the starting grid. I think Lewis is going to be the first driver actually on that medium tyre as well.
Yep, he is. I would say the one qualifying that I do like now, I would say, is the ones where it's hard in Q1, medium in Q2, and softs in Q3.
Yeah, I quite like that as well. Do you like the sprint shootout qualifying or not?
It's okay, I would say. But I do like it that it is separate from the rest, to be honest.
Do you prefer the old sprint format now, or this one, as soon as it's fresh in your memory from Qatar?
Oh, I'm unsure about that. Both of them had their pros and cons.
Yeah, they do. I'm not sure which one I prefer. I wouldn't mind both. As we do like 6 sprints, I wouldn't mind 3 of the one format and 3 of the other.
Yeah, it is fair that, look at Lewis Hamilton in Brazil that year. I can't remember what one it was.
21.
Was it 21 where he came from 20th place
to like 10th, I think it was. Or I think it was like 10th, I think, as Lewis goes fastest, obviously. He was setting the first lap with a 1:11.2. He actually beat Looney Man on the soft tyre. And then a 1:11 dead. Oh, a 1:10.2 for Prodigy. Time's getting faster. And almost as fast as Chuckle's pole time as we were here last time. It just shows that the drivers are starting to get to grips with F1 23 more and more.
That's 25 thousandths of a second off Chuckle's time from the last time we were here in season 12. So, quite a good time there, I would say. Got Racing Matt, the lone Ferrari this session, coming to the line. 1:11.2 is good enough for 6th place for now.
It's Pippo Kennedy, I think, is next up in that Williams, like he is on a Wednesday night as well, and goes 3rd fastest. Oh, sorry, he's not. He's not in a Williams on Wednesday. Ignore that. That was incorrect. But yeah, the Jamaican goes third fastest.
Yep. Up next, I think it's Ross in the Red Bull. He's just coming up to the final two corners of turn 13 and 14. Getting awful close to that wall on the right hand side. He puts in a 110.893. Good enough for 7th place right now. Gonna have to do a bit better than that, I would say, to be able to move in to the next session, possibly.
Paul Jones up next, making his way to the line. Driver leading the championship at the moment, goes 10th fastest with a 1:11.2. That midfield, as it always is, so close at the moment.
Yeah, I'll have a wee quick look there. Yeah, they are quite close. It's bang. It's exactly 1 second between the top 10. Exactly 1 second.
It is. It's exactly wow. Just over a second to the top 11.
Yeah. So these guys have got quite a similar pace with each other.
Matthew has done a stellar time, but he's retired very early.
Yeah, I think he's got that sort of ability to do that, because it was quite a quick time there. So he could just sit back and watch the rest of qualifying, I would say.
So Short Marcus on a lap, he invalidated his last one. He was going rather slowly on a cool down lap to make sure that battery was charged and prepped. As he makes his way to turn 10, as late on the brakes as possible. A bit of a twitch on the entry there as well, and a twitch on the exit, just trying to get the power down, sliding the rear end out of the corner. It would have lost him a bit of lap time, but would he gain it with getting the power down as early as he possibly could at the end of this straight before we get into the Wall of Champions chicane. And the final two corners are 13 and 14, and now he stays to the right to make sure he gets the shortest run to the line. And a 1:11.014 for the Williams driver.
See him just cutting that turn two.
Yeah, more difficult to do that now as well, of course, because they put the wall there now from this year.
Yeah, I was going to say you'd have to have the powers of Casper the Friendly Ghost in order to be able to do that now.
Chuckle is the last driver yet to set a lap, and he is on that lap right now as he goes into the third sector of the lap, but he has invalidated his time. I think he's on a recharge here, I think. Yeah, I think he'll probably go again. He's going slowly, so it would indicate that he's just trying to get as much battery back up. I have discovered, like this week on Monday, that you can recharge the battery enough. As long as you go slowly enough, it will recharge.
Oh, never knew that.
Yeah, you just got to keep braking down the straights, just sort of ride the brake pedal as he goes through the final corner to start another lap. He has got a car ahead of him, not sure what car that is. I think it might have been Lewis there, I think it was, yeah, because it's a Mercedes ahead of him as he gets out of the way to let that Aston Martin through. And now he's into that second sector as he makes his way down this DRS straight. It's the shortest one on the circuit, but it's a decent length, to be fair, but it's difficult to get a move into turn 9. It's difficult to exit turn 9 as Chuck is now discovered. He's bashing.
Also Short Marcus at turn 1 and 2 actually spun it also just at the same time as Chuck.
Yeah, he's now cutting over at the corners. Got to be careful there, Marcus. You're going to put it in the wall there, son, if you're not careful.
Yep, of course, that is one thing you've got to watch out for. is the lack of grip on the grass. As well, we have seen that just a few years ago, actually, in real life.
2019, I believe.
The Vettel Hamilton at turn 3.
Yeah, yeah. Well, 3 and 4, wasn't it? It was both.
Yeah. Marcus in the pits now.
Bugatti just started a lap, and that lap has already come to an end as he's in the wall on the exit of turn 2.
Oh no. Will we be able to get back in?
Well, he's got enough fuel. He's got enough fuel to go again. But has he damaged his wing? I don't think he has actually.
Nope.
He did hit the wall quite slowly.
No, he's actually all good there. So he'll be able to just go again. You just need to take his time a little and make sure he's got enough fuel to make another lap.
And not to wear out those soft tyres as well.
Yeah, but he's going to make sure he can get out of the way here as we've got Ross just coming up close behind him, just entering the chicane now. But he invalidates there. He just takes too much entry on the corner there of turn 8. On board with Chuckle now as he's on the lap. He's in the drop zone right now and sitting in 14th place.
Yeah, so this lap is all.
Yeah, it's pretty much all or nothing here for him.
Yeah.
So DRS is wide open between turns 7 and 8 here, into turns 8 and 9, using as much of that apex as possible, but still managing to keep it within the track limits into the hairpin of turn 10, a complete 180-degree corner. And then we've got this little kink of turn 11, and then the same with turn 12, which is just a little slight rotation on the wheel in these cars anyway. Final run down into turn 13 and 14, getting right up close to that wall of champions on the final stretch of the line, and he puts into P3 with a 110.431. What a lap there from Shuckle.
Paul Jones has just clouted the wall there on the exit of turn 2. Again, got enough time on the clock, most likely because this is a short circuit. He's going to have enough fuel. He does. And he'll be able to go again, as he didn't actually take any of his front wing off. Luckily for him, Racing Matt just starting a lap as well, trying to make his way into Q3. As Ross G crosses the line, goes third fastest.
Nice one. There's a Racing Matt just started the lap with Paul Jones and Valentine. So just starting a lap there.
Yeah, so Racing Matt will be the first one up. We've got Marcus in the danger zone at the moment, who's about to start his final attempt. They've all come out quite early on, actually, Lee. A lot of them aren't actually going to see the checkered flag.
I think some of them maybe possibly doing 2 laps to get the fuel load down and trying to possibly shave tenths off their time.
Or, of course, if they're going a bit earlier on, so if they make a mistake in the lap, they can go again.
Yeah, of course, there's always that as well, but we've got Chuck right now who's just coming up to the hairpin of turn 10.
Before that, Lee, we've got Racing Matt crossing the line potentially for his final lap. He goes 10th fastest and now does knock short Marcus down into 11th, so he needs to get this lap done, and he needs to go faster and get into the 110s. Realistically, into the 110.8s. Well, actually, sorry, more realistically, we're looking at sort of 110.5, I think, actually.
Chuck pushing the limits there of the curbs.
Oh, it's not good enough.
Nope, so
it's
he's
not
going
good
to most
enough.
likely be out.
Coit's out on an outlap as well. He's the only one that's left it really rather late.
Short Marcus on into the line at 110.152, and that is actually quicker by 0.04 of a second than the last time we were here, which was Chuckle's time just a couple of months ago in season 12. So nicely done there from Short Marcus, and we're only into Q2, so these times are going to ramp up even more, possibly into the 1 minute 9s.
So we've got all the drivers who are in the drop zone at the moment out on the circuit. The one that crosses the line first is Paul Jones. He's knocked Bugatti out in Q2. He was out in Q2 last week. It's the same again in Canada. But where is he going to end up? Racing Matt now making his way to the line. No, he's not. He's making his way to the pit lane line. And he's also out of the session. Chuck as well, he's out. Looney Man comes to the line. Can he save himself? No, goes 12th. The only driver that now can save himself is RTG Lee, and he is up on his time by almost a 10th.
But he's going to need a bit more than a 10th here. He's going to need to be at 1 minute 10.778. He's just coming up to the final couple of corners here. He's going to be pushing on the limit, trying to take as much curb as possible. Nicely done there. Could have took a little bit more on the exit, but he goes to the line and it's good enough to get him through it, and he knocks his own teammate out. And we just kind of seen that just a few moments ago between the Ferraris.
Yeah, we did. So another Italian team knocking one of their teammates out of this session. Paul Jones leading the championship. He's going to be starting 11th, so he's got some work to do to keep that lead in the championship when we finish on this Thursday evening. As Coix Gamer goes fourth fastest, and he's most definitely safe. Who is up for pole though, Lee? I mean, look at that top four.
Yeah, well, Short Marcus is definitely looking prime for it at this moment. But then again, it is really close, even all the way down to 7th place. We'll have a wee quick look at what the gap is. So it's 4 tenths down to 8th place. 10th is just over 4 tenths.
That's amazing. That's amazingly close.
Between the top 10, that is quite insane.
Yeah.
So, for the second qualifying session, the results are in. Short Marcus there taking the fastest lap of Q2. It was a 110.152. Just behind him was Prodigy, then it was Matthew, Coix Gamer, Ross, Chuckle, Lewis, Pipple Kennedy, Jizzle and Lee. Paul Jones Jr. will be starting in the respective places of 11th. Then it was Bugatti Sloven will be starting at 12th, 13th Looneyman, 14th Racing Matt, and Chuck will be starting in 15th. Come the rest also. So moving on to the third and final qualifying session, where the top 10 will battle it out in a 12-minute qualifying session to determine pole position and who's going to be getting that extra point.
So as we go into Q3, there you go. Standings timer up on the board. People can relax a little bit in this Q3 session with 12 minutes on the clock and sort of an outlap of about what, a 1 minute 20, 25, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time. You could arguably do 3 laps here if you got out the garage as soon as the green light was at the end of the pit lane. We've got an Alpine coming out of Jizz on me as he makes his way out onto the circuit. The Red Bull of Prodigy as well makes his way out on the circuit just behind him.
Yep. So, Jizz is going to be forced to settle up by the looks of things up to now. And we're still starting to see a lot more activity now in the pit lane. So there's going to be, I think there's still 3 cars waiting there. Haas, Williams.
Chuck was just about to come out as well. Coix came out. I think they're
the
pretty much all of them out on the circuits. They've all sort of come out in sequence here, which is easier for us.
it's easier for them, as well as now they're going to be able to get plenty of space for them to set their laps.
There's definitely quite a few of them together. Oh, Ross G almost losing it there through turn 9. He may try and say that he was warming up the rear tyres, however. So Matthew, the driver that got that extra point last week in Thursday, is going to try and get that extra point again today as he goes through the Wall of Champions and on his way to start his first tour in Q3.
Yep, so here he is, keeping it nice and tight. In turn 2 there, not using as much of the exit curb as needed, but there we go, flying through turns 3 and 4 and through this little forest section at the end of sector 1 into turns 6 and 7. DRS is just going to be wide open now, reducing the drag on the car. Here it is in turns 7 and 8 here, getting quite close up to the board there on the right hand side. Into turn 10 now, the hairpin keeps it in nice and tight there.
He did have a little bit of a lock-up, I think, on the entry into the corner on the brakes. Would have had to use a little bit of that Cayman's braking before turning into turn 10, as he now makes his way into turns 13 and 14 and makes his way to the line. We're going to have Lewis G up next after him. He does a 1:10.1, a very competitive time for his first time. Here comes Lewis in that Mercedes. 1:10.5, close time to what he did last time around. Now Lee making his way to the line.
Don't think this is going to be a 1 minute 10, nope, a 1:11.2, so if he's going to want any shot, oh, jizzle me, he's in a 1 minute 9.9.
Wow.
He's the first one into the 1 minute 9s. What a lap.
So, some drivers have bailed into the pits already. I think Coix Gamer is going to be the driver up next, and after him will be the driver who took pole last time we were here in Canada. And Coix comes to the line. He goes third fastest with a 1:10.4. Here comes Shuckle. Goes second with a 1:10.1.
And he actually bumped the wall a little bit on the exit of turn 14. Just touched the Wall of Champions just a little. And this short Marcus there getting a bit greedy on the apex curb of turn 14 there.
Cost him.
Kind of sent him a little bit. Yep, definitely. It kind of sent him a little into the wall there. Prodigy, he's invalidated his lap, so we've only got Prodigy, Pibble Kennedy, and Ross still to set a lap.
So the two Red Bulls yet to set a lap, and that Williams as well, as they are all starting to file into the pit lane. Jizzle, mate, first race for RTG. Is it going to also be his first pole? Still got 7 minutes, well, more like 8 or 9 minutes until we really can answer that question. But he will have to go again. He will want to improve. At this moment in time, won't need to, but he's got 3 drivers who we know can be right up there who haven't set times yet.
Yep, would certainly say that. But we've seen Pibble Kennedy getting out quite early, so he'll still have time to set another lap after this. But see him holding onto the brakes, trying to get them tyres warmed up, as you know. Holding on, heating up the brakes does heat up the tyres.
Or is he trying to burn some fuel?
Oh, never thought of that actually. Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to burn a bit of fuel. If he was to come back in again and go back out, he's certainly going to have to sort of get on with this outlap, though.
Yeah, I would say that. There is
going
only
quite
6
slowly.
minutes still on the clock.
It's a bit of an over-exaggeration. He's going almost as slowly as you would be down Montreal's main street, I think.
Yeah, I would say that. going about the same speed as a Corsa.
He's still doing, who say he's going to slow, he's still doing 120 miles an hour, which just obviously is the speed you're used to. As he now makes his way around the final corner, he's going to be pedal to the metal now as he makes his way to the timing line to start another attempt as he goes into turns 1 and 2.
Yep, and there was a car that's just came out, the Alpine.
Yep, just on me.
Yep, he's just he managed to miss Pippo Kennedy, just managed to miss him, so now he's been able to get a clear track ahead of him in order to set that time. And if this game wasn't bugged, I would have knew that would have been the best sector 1 of the session, but we all know on the very first lap anybody sets never shows up correct for some reason, as it shows up with another purple sector.
He's probably just dealt with the most important sector, as this sector is just a chicane with a couple of straights in between. Oh, sorry, a couple of straights either side with a chicane in between, but it is a difficult chicane to manage. The wall's been extended for F123 when you look into the apex of turn 13. Negotiated them both nicely, gets to the line at 110.3. It's gonna be closely. I think he might be able to just get in, but he's gonna have to get on with this in lap. But of course, they do allow corner cutting in RTG, so he may use that to his advantage. But the only corner I think he can cut to gain any advantage really is turn 8 and 9.
Yeah, I would say that is probably the only corner he's able to gain the advantage. But we're seeing Ross has just started his second lap. This could be his first potential lap that he could get on the board, though, as the last one he did invalidate. He's coming into turns 3 and 4. It looked like he was a bit cautious there, going into turns 3, making sure he didn't invalidate. Into turn 6 and 7 there, nicely done. DRS will be wide open down to turn 8 and 9 here. And I would say that section of track between turns 6 and 9 is going to be like a bus stop section a little, with the double chicanes. Oh, and he
Goes wide.
Point.
Yeah, it goes very wide through turn 10. Would have got a bit of marbles on the tyres, which they wouldn't have liked, as he put his foot hard down on that right pedal as he goes down towards the final 2 corners with a right and a left, and that left being the Wall of Champions. No one's hit it so far this afternoon as Jizz on Me goes faster with a 19.889. What's Roshi going to do? Only goes 7th with a 110.7.
I'm actually surprised that Jizz on Me just managed to get an even quicker time there, a 1:09.899. Sorry, 889. Well, we've got Prodigy, who's the only one who's still yet to get a time on the board. And he's just on this straight with a DRS wide open down to turn 13, the final section. And he's getting right close up to that board on the right hand side. Final stretch to the line. What time's he going to be able to do? A 1:10.151. That sets him into 3rd place for now. I don't think he's going to be able to have enough time to do another lap, unless he could get that battery charged up quite quickly. Lewis coming to the line. He's 2 seconds on his, quite a bit off on his time. Sorry, down on his time.
But I think he might be going again. The battery was quite well charged, actually.
Chuck also, I think he's on a lap. He's just running the turn 10 there.
Yeah, he is. He's just down on his time in the second sector, though, by about 2/3 of a tenth.
It's not, that's quite a bit, is it? So.
Oh, now he clouts the wall, and that's gonna have ruined his attempt there, and I think he knows it now, as he's not got enough time to get back round for another lap. So he's at the maximum starting second, as we've got another driver who's just gone through. That short Marcus starting his next attempt. Two drivers still on out laps. The checker flag is close to falling now.
Prodigy is went on another lap.
Yeah, he is.
Got not enough fuel. So
interesting. So you can give it a go though.
True. We've got Lewis coming to the line. He's 8/10 down on his time though, so he might be just about to start a lap now.
Yes, the gears with just enough time.
Yep, short Marcus there, getting a bit squirrely coming out of turn 9 there. Absolutely pushing the limits of that Williams.
So I believe.
Up.
Oh, it would have been RTG up first, but RTG Lee, sorry, been up first, but he cut the final chicane, so he's going to be starting 10th. Short Marcus is the next one after that, and then I think it's Chuckle.
Yep, it will be Chuckle, but I don't think he's on a lap. I think he just, oh no wait, he's went again I think. But short Marcus to the line, the only man just to go 8th for now, 110.648. We'll also possibly have an answer, but
and here comes Matthew to the line, the driver who took pole last week. Is he going to do it again? No, he goes on to the front row. The only driver to get into the 109s is Jizz on me at the moment as Ross G comes to the line now. The driver in the Red Bull, he spins out and takes off his front wheel. The yellow flags are out. Lewis G, he's going to be unsighted by that Red Bull. He can keep his foot flat to the floor. The Scotsman, what's he going to do? He goes 5th. Jizz on me in his first race of the season has first race of RTG and of the season takes his first pole.
That is, well, just from that lap alone into the 1 minute 9s, and just he's definitely stamped his mark here right away. Not even waited until the race. So we're just going to have to wait and see what he's going to be able to do come the race. We're going to have 35 laps of racing coming up. But right now, for the third and final time in qualifying here, we've got Jizz on me, who gets that 1 minute 9.889, and then behind him was Matthew getting onto that front row just there in the end. Chuckle in P3. Then it was Prodigy, Lewis, Pipple Kennedy, Coyes Gamer, Short Marcus, Ross G and Lee. So we're going to be moving on to the main event now. It's going to be 35 laps, and it's going to be 152.635 kilometers of racing, or 94.85 miles. Well, no, the softs could go up to 17 laps, mediums up to 23, and the hards up to 26. So we could
hard
see
soft
quite
maybe
a variety. Possibly, or maybe even if they're want to be a little cheeky, possibly even a soft medium or medium soft. It is possible, I would say.
So now we wait, and whilst we do wait, oh, wouldn't let me go. Did let you go pause there? Wouldn't let me go pause.
Yeah, same. What the hell?
Oh.
Okay, so I guess computer says no.
Yeah, that's a shame. Oh, hold on a minute.
Oh, we went a bit quick there.
That was very quick. We've got 5 red lights. And we're away for the first round of the season. Jizz on me takes us away into the third round of the season. Sorry, been a bit unsighted by the start as we go around into turn 2. Coix Gamer trying to go up the inside, and now we're seeing Short Marcus, going around the outside. Is Prodigy now makes his way through at turn 4, and now we've got a car off in the background. That's Bugatti, the Slovakian, down into 20th place.
No,
Racing
we've got
Matt.
Danny and Racing Matt, Winnieman and Racing Matt side by side there, going around turn 7 there, and it looks like, and Danny and Royal Rumble are battling out just behind them, so these McLarens are heating right up in the battle here. Moving forward though, here it is, Ross G just a little bit late on the brakes, looking at turn 1 on Quiet's Gamer, and now he's just lost the position to Paul Jones Jr., who's started in 11th place, and now he's moved up into 9th place, up 2 positions already.
And Ross G looking right at the back of that Alfa Romeo, and he spins out, goes into the wall on the exit of the Wall of Champions, and is facing the wrong way. Yeah, apologies for the start. We usually have a bit of a wait time for the admins to start. Not sure who did it. I would say probably arguably it could be Jiz on me. It's his first race of the season. Not got the memo of how we do race starts in RTG, but he's leading the race as it stands. We've got a safety car deployed. Pippo Kennedy is out of the race, and he's out of the race at
exit turn 4.
Turn 4, yeah.
Yep, so we've already got a safety car. So Ross G and Bugatti Slovan will actually be jumping for joy in their seats right now, after they unfortunately spun out on the first lap, so now they'll be able to have a chance to catch up.
And Chuck up 6 places from his starting position of 15th, now in 9th place. The top 4 have stayed as they started, as Roshi gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there under the safety car. That will be frustrating for him.
Yep, but having a look at the tyre strategies
yeah, I was just about to say.
now.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that.
Prodigy's the only one. Prodigy's the only one on the softs. The top 3 are on the hards, and Lewis and Sean Marcus on the mediums.
And Prodigy into the pits. Is he going to go to the hards here and try and go to the end? No, medium tyres.
Yep, I think it's the best idea right now would be a double medium or a medium soft from now. Ross G, drive-through penalty. Oh no, he's retired.
He's retired very early on, not something we usually see from the Red Bull driver, but already down to 18 on the 3rd lap of this Canadian Grand Prix, and Prodigy now down in 16th, but was one of the only drivers to pit, along with RTG Lee, who was also pit after that spin. So we haven't got a moment to breathe now, Lee. I felt like everything just went up in the air there. I wasn't expecting it to start so quickly. Didn't even feel like 30 seconds, to be honest.
No, I would say that the same. It didn't appear to be 30 seconds, to be honest.
I'm not sure what the punishment is for pressing ready up before the admins do. I have a feeling it might be a qualifying ban.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think there is possible leeway considering it is his first race. But yeah, I don't know how that end works. But we're going to have the safety car for another lap or 2, I would say.
I think probably just for the next lap. Just for this lap now. Yeah, so interesting that the top 3 are on hards and no one now on the soft tyre. Prodigy obviously was the only one. Keep saying that Pernburden and Prodigy are switching places. I think that might be an error with the standing chart. Whilst we wait to get the safety car over and get back racing again, make sure you subscribe to the RTG TV channel and like these live streams. We do have uploads as well, not as regular as I would like. Sorry, I should be more disciplined about it, but we will get them out to you. But please make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you're not in the Discord, the RTG Discord, to see when we go live on a Monday, Wednesday and Thursday around 8 o'clock. It's not always bang on, but yeah, make sure to keep subscribing, and hopefully you're enjoying season 13 as much as me and Lee are, actually, because these 2 days have thrown up some really good racing so far.
Oh, yes, certainly. Even when there was just like that one race where it was just like not a lot of people turned up, unfortunately. I think it was like, what, 15? Still big enough grid, but even then, the racing was still quite spectacular. But now, we're going to be getting back to racing. We've got Jizomi who's going to be leading the pack away as the safety car is just coming into the pits now and hit the safety car line. So you could go right now if he wants to.
And I think he's going now through the final 2 corners and just powered up before getting on the brakes for the final 2 corners as we cross the line to start lap 5 of this Canadian Grand Prix. Jizomi still leading the way as we go into turn 1. The 2 Mercedes looking pretty as well in 3rd and 4th.
Oh, 2 seconds, sorry, we've got the, looked like the Alpine Perrin-Boden and Prodigy there. Prodigy managing to move up on Perrin-Boden.
And the Pretender going off the track there as well on the exit of turn 2. Drivers struggling to get on the traction as the track goes uphill. It's quite off-cambered as well, that right-hander, and you can really struggle to get your right foot flat to the floor with the tyres.
Liam Bugatti Sloven there, sort of getting sort of elbows out there going up into turn 6 there. And then we've got Kieran and Prodigy. Prodigy's just making his way through the field now on fresh medium tyres.
And I think
looks like Kieran's having a wee look back. Oh, and it looked like he was going to have a wee attempt there at the hairpin up the inside.
And Lee getting very close to the back of Perrin-Boden as well, as we said, started 20th for the last 2 races, up to 16th now. But RTG Lee using that overtake button, getting out of the slipstream, gets alongside. Oh, they made contact there, and the Perrin-Boden, he's had to go off the circuit. He hasn't got himself a time penalty, thankfully for that. Prodigy gets up into 13th place now after pitting under that safety car.
Yep, he's managed to do quite well, so now he's going to have the perfect strategy as well. He could either go into the mediums or the softs, come further on in the race.
So I think a lot of the drivers are waiting for the DRS to be enabled. Matthew
Prodigy making up another place there. Royal Rumble just never got the line right going through turn 8 and
yellows. Ross G has left the session. Not sure who's got a yellow flag. That's Perrin-Boden, I think, on the exit of turn 9 has come a cropper there. As we go on to lap 7 and DRS is going to be enabled for the first time. Matthew has got a few tenths to gain to get that DRS as we make our way out of turn 7.
Yeah, when I'm looking, it looks like Paul Jones is getting right close to the back of that Haas of Quiet's game out there. As we're coming out of turn 2. Perrin-Boden into the pits, so you'll be getting a nose change. Yep.
And we'll be hoping and praying for a safety car to come sooner rather than later, as Matthew is pushing to try and get within that DRS window. He's got within it now, but where was the detection point? I think he was just too late, so I don't think he's going to get it again, but he is within that 1 second now, but there's only the 1 detection point there for the next 2 DRS straights.
Oh, Prodigy and Danny battling out there. Prodigy managing to get up, and now he's going to have Racing Matt in his sights, and it looks like he's going to be able to do it. He's got the DRS, and he absolutely whizzes past him, moving up into 10th place. So he's moved up 6 places in the past 2 laps.
As RTG Lee gets past the Pretender there at the Wall of Champions. 1.1 seconds is still the gap between first and second. Oh, who was that? That was Jizomi. He's round and now down into 8th place. He lost it on the exit of turn 4. Has he got wing damage? No. He's been able to carry on. He's down in 12th now, though, which has given Matthew the lead. And now we've got another driver around. Prodigy. I think that was, Prodigy, who just struggles for consistency in F123.
Oh, sorry, Royal Rumble and Looney Man battling out. Looney Man's on the outside there, and Royal Rumble manages to make the pass there through turns 8 and 9.
As we go through turn 10 and down this back straight now towards the Wall of Champions, Chuckle within 4/10 of Matthew, who's leading right now, and Danny moved up a place on racing map. Pern Bowden is out. That's another safety car deployed. Second one in 8 laps, and drivers now diving into the pit lane. And I don't think this opportunity for a safety car lead they can pass up on for a pit stop.
Yeah, just went straight into the pits, and that was perfect timing for him.
He does get a wing change actually, so he obviously did have damage, even though we couldn't really see any. But he's made sure to get that wing changed, and he's got some work to do now.
Yeah, most certainly. From 1st to 15th, we'll see if he's going to be able to pull it back. As he's just threw on them fresh mediums. So off the hard tyre onto the mediums.
Now, I think the drivers who were leading had already passed the pit lane once that safety car came out, so they've still got their opportunity to pit. The race kind of gets stabilised at this point, almost like a VSC. They'll pretty much come out in the same positions they go in, unless drivers don't pit just behind them. Matthew stays out. Chuckle dives in. He was on the hard tyres. That's an interesting call from him. Short Markers comes in as well. Oh, Coitz gets very close to the back of the Williams there. Almost run into the back of him.
Kind of messed up, but we'll see quite a few changes here. And Racing Matt has actually moved up quite a bit there.
Yeah, up to third.
Staying out.
And
so
now there's a bit of a race here, Lee, because there's loads of them coming out of the pit lane. They've got a straight line towards turn 2. Got people like Bugatti. Oh, yeah, he got out just ahead of Short Markers. That was so close. As we were coming out of turn 2, he was ahead. Short Markers was coming out of the pits, hoping to stay behind Chuckle. But, yeah, Bugatti now between the two of them.
Yep, and I was looking there, Racing Matt's actually up 11 places from 14th right now. So, Lungin got up quite a bit, staying out and not pitting. It's only Bugatti, Sloan and Kieran behind him that haven't pit, but he's got Lewis and Matthew also still to pit.
So those are the only... Yeah, so we've got 4 drivers who haven't done a mandatory pit stop just yet. Top 3 and Bugatti. Bugatti's come up a few places as well. I'm sure Jizz on Me has done so as well, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, so he was hard at the start. And unfortunately, well, he's went mediums now, so see what kind of pace he's going to have then.
Apologies.
What?
No, just me, laughing.
So childish. Now, still, I think it should be. I think it might be next lap. Oh, Prodigy! I think he may have just picked himself up a warning there at least. Going around turn 4, just taking a bit of the Vettel line there. Of course, not locking up though. So we know these tyres could do 26 laps, so a lot of these people that have just pit for the hard compounds could be in it until the end, quite possibly, unless there could be another safety car. Judging by this track, it kind of been a treacherous one at times, with the barriers on either side quite close, quite often. We could possibly see another safety car, or even penalties even. As we know what this track's like sometimes.
So
now Matthew's away.
Yeah, he's away quite early on actually, and it would have caught a few people off guard. As you can see, the chain reaction of people getting themselves back to full throttle. Bugatti to get himself a 3-second time penalty. He's still technically under the safety car as we get back racing on lap 12.
Yep, oh, here it is, the Red Bull of Prodigy now. He's looking up the inside of the Pretender, going into turn 1. Oh, and
still looking to go around the outside at turn 2. There we go. He's got it done. Kieran is falling all the way back down to 15th, 16th, now 17th as he went on to the grass.
Oh, short Marcus just getting past Bugatti Sloven there around turn 6 and 7. It looks like Koya's Gamer also getting past. And now VSC.
Virtual safety car deployed. We've had quite a lot of yellow flag infringements in this first third of the race, as we're about third distance. I think we've had more laps under the safety car or VSC than we have actually racing so far, but hopefully that is soon to change, and this VSC should get clear and we'll get back to green flag racing very shortly.
So, having a look at position changes, we've got Racing Matt, who's still the biggest gainer up to now, sitting in 4th place with 10 places on his qualifying.
Oh, the Pretender getting himself a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC, as well as Jizz on Me getting himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings there. As we go back towards the front, short Marcus getting close to the back of that Ferrari's gearbox, and now pushing that Ferrari through turn 5 as we now go on towards turn 7 as we go into turns 8 and 9 now. We've got the Haas trying to go up the inside as well. Koix Gamer on Racing Matt. The two Dutchmen switch places, and now Koix is into 5th. Racing Matt just dropping like a rock at the moment.
Yeah, we just missed it there. The two Alphas battling out there, going up to turn 8. But now we've got Chuck and Bugatti Sloven battling out again. And then we've got Danny moving around the inside. What a move there from Danny. He just came out of nowhere.
And the two Mercedes switching places at the wall of champions. And Paul Jones now moving up. Racing Matt going into the pit lane. I'm not sure if he's retiring or not. I wouldn't see why he would do that, as we just got back racing again. Jizz on Me goes up the inside of two of the cars there, but braked way too late. He could get himself another time penalty there. That was risky and dangerous, but luckily everyone came out unscathed.
That was actually quite lucky there from Jizz on Me, as that could have been quite fatal there. And I just noticed Lee has made 3 pit stops already in this race.
As Chuckle looking to the right-hand side, to that inside line as we go into the right-hander of turn 10. Up the inside, the Mercedes goes. Matthew trying to get the switchback, getting the better line out of the corner to get the straight line speed. As short Marcus now goes up the inside at turn 10 as well. We've got the Mercedes, the Williams and the Haas all jostling for that 3rd place, as we've got short Marcus still leading that trio, as Lewis now makes up a place on Koix Gamer. They fall back into position, or do they? As Koix goes up the inside, then clips the wall on the outside. Lewis is now into the wall as well, and now down into 6th place.
And Royal Rumble, I think he's just hit it into the wall of champions also. Yep, he's spun out. But now we've got Looneyman and Lee battling out. Lee just manages to get just ahead of Looneyman.
Lewis off the circuit.
Lewis off the track.
Yeah, Lewis off at turn 2. It's all happening on lap 14 and 15, as now Jizz on Me goes up to 12th. And we've got a yellow flag. That is for the slow-moving Mercedes. And Chuckle is now 1.5 seconds into the lead here. And short Marcus getting a very nice run out of turn 9. Matthew is going to be under threat here. It's hards versus mediums. The medium tyre, of course, being on that Williams as you were right on board with him out of turn 10. We will get DRS enabled on lap 16, the next lap, as we go down towards the Wall of Champions. The overtake button being used by short... Oh, sorry, DRS is available already. And he used the DRS and the battery to get past. He's going to get another dose of that DRS as well to gain a good-sized gap.
Oh, a bit risky there from Lee getting past Bugatti.
And now look,
he's going to be looking at up the inside of turn 1 here. This is the battle for 9th place. They're going to be going side by side into turn 2. No, Lee just manages to fend off that 9th position there.
As Lewis G has retired as well now. We're down to 16 drivers as Paul Jones still right on the gearbox of that Aston Martin, as well as Coit's Gamer trying to break away from this pack. They've been together for a couple of laps now, and I'm sure they don't want to be as close as they are with each other right now. Is Matthew falling, dropping down places there. I'm not sure if that was tactical, but the detection point's a lot earlier on than that, Matthew, and I think you've just cost yourself some DRS there and 2 places all at once. And he did.
That's him just buggered that up for himself. Prodigy though flying past Chuck with the aid of the DRS, and just on me. Oh, banging into the wall there. Going past the lead down the straight. Just not having as much grip, realising that the car's going to just fly off to the side, just like what happened to Bugatti there, coming out with turn 14. And it's not the wall which
and another VSC deployed. Oh, the McLaren of Looney Man and RTG Lee making contact. I think Lee's going to have to give that place back.
Not sure.
Definitely. I'm pretty sure he was behind. It looked like he was. Obviously, the game might be wrong, but I don't think I need my eyes tested. I really do think that Lee was actually behind once that VSC marker came out. But we're having too many of these VSCs for not really any reason. Not that what I've seen. I don't know what you've seen, but
well, there was quite a bit of debris, I would say, on the exit of turn 14 from where Bugatti smashed it into the wall. And we're back underway now, so DRS is back enabled.
Yeah, that is one of the beauties of the VSC. You get the DRS straight away rather than waiting another 2 laps for it to be enabled. Our race leader, Chuckle, getting himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That's going to make short Marcus feel a little bit happier, a bit brighter there now, as long as he hasn't got any warnings to his name, of course.
Yep, and he's managed to get right into that DRS window now. So he's under a second to the gap to Chuckle. We'll see. Oh, Bugattie's swerving. He's into the pits to get a new front wing.
Bear with me a second, mate.
Yep, no worries at all. But we're seeing Looney Man. He's still sticking close to Lee, who's sticking quite close to Jizomi. Just up ahead, and there's battle going on for 9th here, and we've got Chuck and Danny still battling out for 7th place. And then we've got the battle for 5th, battle for 3rd, and the battle for the lead. We've got plenty of battles here. Even a battle for 15th here between Bugatti and Kieran. Bugatti's just... Oh, Matthew getting passed by Prodigy.
Yeah, Prodigy on an absolute roll at the moment. And nothing seems like can phase or stop him right now as we go on to lap 19 of 35.
Yeah, short Marcus still just hanging close to the back of Chuckle here. Yeah, so technically he's going to be in front by about 2.5 seconds. We've seen yellow flag, caution.
Yeah, it was
Was
Lee.
that racing, Matt? Oh, Lee.
It was Lee.
Turn 2.
Yeah, I believe so. A lot of drivers struggling with turn 2 as we go into turn 8 and 9 with the 2 leaders. What Short Mark is going to do here, I feel like really still with quite a long way to go in the race, he needs to kind of get past and try and gain some time, because obviously this is going to invite Paul Jones and Coix Gamer into the fold here, and these 4 actually no, sorry, apologies, Short Marcus is, where is Short Marcus in the standings actually? I'm just trying to look. I'm not sure if Short Marcus is a reserve or not this evening.
Sorry. No, he's not. But we've just had, I think it was Matthew and Chuck swap places there. Lee getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Now, has he got
Now Prodigy
damage?
getting himself a 3-second time penalty as well.
Yeah, but so Lee ended up with damage there, so we'll have to see what happens there. Coix Gamers fell out of that DRS window and Lee's decided to retire it. It's unfortunate there for the Alfa Romeo driver.
He's indeed. Paul Jones is gaining back some time on the top 2, and Coix Gamer closely behind him. But Prodigy, absolutely stellar at the moment. Not got a huge amount of battery to play with though, but it doesn't look like any of them really do. There's so many straights here. Chuckle's got quite a bit, as well as Short Marcus. They haven't really used, they've used about half of theirs.
Danny though. Danny, the Pretender, and the guy Sloven have got plenty there. Danny's sitting on 75% right now, so nicely conserved for him. So if anyone has pit, let's see. Yep, so Paul Jones is actually on the softs right now, so he's going to have to pit again.
And that's why he's got such good pace right now. Well, one of the factors why he'll have such good pace right now. He's probably hoping for another safety car, and with what we've had so far this race, that could still be quite likely as we go through turn 10 with the driver in 3rd place. Short Marcus has just broke that DRS window, but where the detection point was, Chuckle was in that position. Got another safety car, and Paul Jones surely is now going to pit.
Yep.
Medium tyres, yep. I feel for everyone now to the end. If they got a slightly used set, or
if they've got a fresh set of softs, they could easily go to the end. As soft tyres could go 17 laps, of course. They could be most likely fall off the cliff. Oh, Short Marcus on the hards. Coix on the softs. We've got Chuckle and Paul Jones both on the mediums. So we're actually seeing quite a lot of mix up here.
At this point in the race, I'm pretty sure we'll see everyone dive into the pits. Royal Rumble is going to have to go into the pits for a separate reason once the safety car ends, to serve a drive-through penalty as he sped under this safety car.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when that happens as well. You know, it's kind of buggered really. Kieran getting a 5-second time penalty there. I think a good thing for him to do would just be do a lap and then jump back in if he needs to, or if he's got a fresh set of tyres to put on, and he'll be able to serve for that 5-second penalty.
So now again, apologies for all the safety cars. I feel like some have been just and others have not been so justified, I have to admit, especially some of the VSCs. Brought the pack closer together though. Interesting for Coix, not got a time penalty on the soft tyres. for him, he's probably going to be wishing this stays out for another couple of laps, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I mean, it's quite possible with Kieran being right at the back. He's just coming into turn 10 now, as the cars are just coming into turn 1. So, it's quite possible that it could stay out for another couple of laps. I mean, he could pit and then get that 5-second time penalty removed. But that's only if he's got another fresh set of tyres.
I am surprised that Coix is the only one on the softs. No one else has been prepared to take that gamble. But is it really much of a gamble at this point? As you said, he can do 17 laps. They will start to drop off towards the end, of course. Short Marcus, though, I think he's made the wrong call there. But knowing from what this game's like, the hard tyre can actually feel like quite a good tyre. Yeah. Are we going to get the safety car in? I believe we will. There we go.
Yep.
So hopefully we won't have any more safety cars or anything until the end of the race, Lee. And
Hopefully.
Not sure who I would hedge my bets on here.
I mean, Paul Jones has been looking quite quick in race pace, so would certainly not count him out, especially with him being on the medium compound tyres. But then Short Marcus is kind of caught Paul Jones by surprise there. Not so much Chuckle here. Is there a way to get racing again? As soon as we cross the line, we're going to be able to get overtaken again. And it looks like Roy Rummels coming into the pits to serve his time penalty. We're going to have to anybody having a wee look. Doesn't appear so.
No, not just yet. Short Marcus obviously knows as well. He's got in hand with Chuckle having the 3-second time penalty, but of course having fresh mediums behind him and a driver on fresh softs. Well, a couple of laps old, but they've only been running at slow safety car speeds. It's going to be a tall order for him to keep this first place and to keep the race alive for him as we go through turn 9 and on our way towards turn 10 with the race leaders. And Matthew now looking to the inside of that McLaren of Danny, goes up the inside, now got his teammate a Chuck ahead of him as he exits turn 10. He holds on to that 7th place and now got his teammate to negotiate with here. Is this going to be an easy negotiation, Lee? Is it going to be a handshake deal of team orders, or are we going to see a fight for that final result?
Well, it depends on who's going to be quicker.
As Prodigy's looking really quick, actually, going up the inside, almost making contact with Coix Gamer in that Haas. He's on the soft tyres. He's going to get the better run as long as he can get the power down nicely, and does so. And holds on to 4th place at the moment. Matthew now moving up on Chuck. I think that might have been orchestrated. And he's on the charge now.
Kieran now getting a 3-second time penalty. Of course, it's not going to really matter as much at this point. Having a wee look, yep, he's got 8 seconds worth of penalties now. So, not going to really be too much of a bother here. Paul Jones, though, he's kind of slipped back out of that DRS window when it comes just in the next lap. But he seems to be better on the brakes and around them low speed corners, but not as powerful down the straights. So it looks like he's losing a bit of speed there.
Maybe running some higher wing setup for Paul Jones. So the middle sector being his prime sector to gain back time, as Chuckle's got to try and gain as much time as he possibly can to make sure he gets the win. But of course he's got to get past the Williams of Short Marcus first. So looking pretty strong on the hard tyres right now. But we now have DRS enabled once again.
So all this top 5 in a train here, and they're all going to have DRS.
Yeah, well, they had DRS through there, didn't they? They all would have. And this is their now second of 3 doses of DRS on lap 26 coming up as they go through the detection point. And as you said, they're all within DRS of one another. Chuckle, the first driver in the queue, of having DRS, and of course the leader not having it. And you can see that he's just going to absolutely fly by there into the final 2 corners.
Oh, short Marcus there under braking there. It looked like the tail end was trying to overtake the front. Looked like he couldn't get the braking done enough on the rear. But now he's going to be under threat from Paul Jones behind in the Alfa Romeo. But remembering that short Marcus is still going to have that 3-second time penalty over Chuckle as well. Chuckle is going to have to be able to get a 3-second gap to short Marcus in order to get this win.
So once again, the top 5 all going to be within DRS of one another as we're gonna go down the back straight towards the Wall of Champions chicane. Prodigy struggling to get on traction on the power out of turn 10. That's cost him some time. He will still have the DRS to hopefully gain back the time he lost through turn 10. And really now, at the moment, Lee, second, third and fourth are fighting for first place. Chuckle is leading, but not if it stays this way.
Racing Matt there moving up into 10th, and he got the inside line going into turn 13 on Winnieman. Nicely done there from him. 2 seconds.
No worries. Short Marcus sitting in second, technically as it stands in first place, and the 2 drivers behind him as well have not got time penalties, so this is a true fight for the win as of now. And these 3 drivers are all on 3 different compounds of tyres. 3 teams, 3 drivers, 3 different compounds, unless Chuckle can gain 3 seconds on the driver behind him. As we go into turn 10, Prodigy's just been able to make up the time to get back within DRS again, struggling with power again by the looks of things out of turn 10. And as we go down the back straight, Paul Jones getting closer and closer. Oh, didn't expect them to brake as early as they did. Had to back out of it. Saved himself from going into the gearbox of that Williams. So we're now on lap 29 of 35 in this 3rd round of the Thursday tier. Still all to play for Short Marcus, Paul Jones and Queeks Gamer, unless they all get penalties, and then a lot of them have got something to play for. So still a long way to go as Queeks is struggling on the curb there of turn 5. Turn 6, sorry, and then got himself all correct and proper out of turn 7. And Matthew is now joining this DRS train. There's 6 of them, all line astern of one another right now. 3 of them having time penalties. Got a yellow flag there. That's a Haas that's round at turn 7.
Kieran, unfortunately there. Still Prodigy getting that 3-second time penalty there.
No, he's just had. They all had 3 seconds in the top 6, and now Prodigy having 6 seconds. So it's looking like, even though he's had a fantastic race so far, the hope is not going to be so alive anymore for him. Chuck as well getting himself another penalty. That's 6 seconds for him as well.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for him. And to be honest, I'm not seeing as many track limits violations. Well, in 5 seconds in the pit lane. Prodigy, they're just getting a bit shaky coming out of turn 7 there. But yeah, I'm not seeing as many track violation and that to what I expected, to be honest.
As Kieran is now retired from the session, we're down to 14 and we're about to go on to lap 31, and we're going to have 5 laps remaining when we do so. As we go down the back straight now towards the final 2 corners for the 30th time today.
Yep, short Marcus is still managing to keep right close to the back of that Mercedes. You can see that light flashing away, so you can see that Chuckle up ahead is going to be vulnerable as he has not got the battery.
Prodigy as well, struggling with battery. This is going to be a phase where a few of these guys are going to start saving the battery they have got left. Chuckle's just staying in the lead for now. It's probably a place where he's going to want to stay, hoping that the drivers behind him are going to get 3-second time penalties or more, as Matthew overtakes Prodigy there. And I think they came together actually, and I think Matthew's just given that place back, I believe. That looked like gave the place back. As we go down towards turn 10. Short Marcus looking pretty good with his battery as well as Paul Jones also.
Yep, Kotick sir just missed his braking. They're going into turn 10. And nearly went into the back of Paul Jones there. Oh, and Short Marcus finally manages to get that first place back on the road. And now he's just going to pull away with the aid of the DRS, and he's got that battery there to spare. Jizomi getting another 3-second time penalty. That's up to 9 seconds worth of penalties. Not good. So Chuckle could possibly be wherever we look.
I'm just going to say, Lee, I don't believe Short Marcus is a full-time driver in Thursdays. I don't think he is.
Repeat.
I don't think he is. I've just been trying to have a look there. So if that was the case, as it stands, Paul Jones is leading the race. But I don't see him on the check-in. I don't see him on the standings. I don't believe he's a full-time driver. I think he's coming in as a reserve this evening. Racing Matt is out of the race. Are we going to see another safety car? Hopefully
Please
not.
no.
Touch wood. I don't think we are. No, that's it. We'd have found out then if we were. As we go through turn 2 with this trio. As Short Marcus gets a time penalty. Short Marcus gets a time penalty. That really does mean now Paul Jones is sitting technically in the lead. Is Coix Gamer and Matthew going side by side now through turn 6 and turn 7 as they go on their way towards turn 8.
No, they two don't want to be fighting too much, as that could hinder them in moving up places. Of course, Matthew not so much. Koyaks though, he could possibly move up to 3rd place right now, no 2nd even, if he still just manages to keep into that 3-second window to Short Marcus. He's currently sitting at 2.8 seconds and closing.
And we're going on to lap 34 of 35. Of course, that means we're on the penultimate lap. And if you're Paul Jones, I just think you don't risk it now, Lee. You just stay where you are, just keep within that DRS window, and that race win could be yours. The only thing that obviously can change that factor is if Chuckle or Short Marcus, who we believe is at reserve anyway, so he would be taken out of the standings. If Chuckle has got a time penalty where he thinks it's unjust, but then obviously he would not had to have got a time warning after that, because he would have got a penalty anyway. But as it stands, Paul Jones would be winning the race, and all he has to do is stick within a 3-second window, preferably within DRS, which is what he's doing right now. And then I'm not too sure. I think Coits would be second then, wouldn't he, after that?
Well, not right now. Well, yeah, actually, sorry, right now.
Paul Jones then now gets past Chuckle as well.
So, Coyotes Gamers 3.7 seconds behind Short Marcus. Having a look to see what other battles are close right now. And it looks like Prodigy is trying his hardest to try and get past Coyotes Gamer here. As, yeah, it looks like Coyotes Gamer made a bit of a mistake. It's cost him a few seconds, as he was sitting at 3.7 seconds just there. So he's lost nearly a second in the gap to Short Marcus now. But Matthew and Chuckle will be battling out for this third place here.
Yeah, and as we go down to turn 10 for the final time this evening, Paul Jones still within that DRS window, still within that 3-second time window that he needs to take the race win. But it looks like that's going to be the case anyway, as Short Marcus, as I keep repeating, sorry for repeating myself, that he looks like he's a reserve. As we go around the final 2 corners, through the Wall of Champions, the Williams takes it first on the road, but we believe that Paul Jones has won the Canadian Grand Prix. It was a big old drag to the line. Look at that, look at that. Chuckle will finish second, Matthew will finish third. And Danny now up to 7th. And I really actually think, Lee, it's not something we usually do. We haven't spoke about it. Paul Jones would be my driver of the day today. He's up 10 places and took his second win of the season. And Prodigy's DNF'd.
I have no idea how that happened, but that may mess up the results a little. Yep, so even EA agrees with me. Paul Jones Jr. getting that driver of the day.
Marcus, we were reserved this evening anyway. Obviously, you just put in the comments. We were just double checking if you are or not, or if you just haven't been put into the standard chat joining this week. Anyway, I'll take it. Lee, take over.
Yeah, so having the rundown now, Paul Jones getting that win and going up 10 places after starting in 11th, not having the best of qualifying sessions, getting knocked out from his teammate. But then in second place was Short Marcus, who unfortunately ended up with a 3-second time penalty, same as Chuckle. And then Matthew just behind. Then it was Coyotes Gamer, Looneyman, Danny, Chuck, Gizomi, who actually got pole, dropped down 8 places unfortunately. Bugatti Sloven in 10th, Royal Rumble in 11th, 12th was the Pretender, Prodigy in 13th, and Racing Matt was plus 4 laps, so he DNF'd. So Racing Matt, Kieran, Lee, Lewis, Pernboden, Ross G and Pippo Kennedy all did not finish this race.
So I do think the race was let down a little bit by safety cars, but when we did have racing, it was very good. And Paul Jones finished second last season. He's on a bit of a roll now.
Yeah, he did actually. I mean, especially there out there tonight, getting that win from coming all the way from 11th place, certainly deserves driver of the day.
He certainly does. So we'll just wait for drivers to join us for interviews. I'm not sure who it's going to be exactly. So we'll just wait for them all to join in. We'll get into the gallery section for our race winners car as we now start to see the drivers coming in for their interviews. So yeah, now we do have it confirmed as I thought. So it's Paul Jones who won the race, Chuckle who finished second, Matthew who finished third. I think we got a glitch with the timer there, Lee. So we might have to stay in. I might have to stay in here to do this. Hopefully we'll get out eventually. Anyway, we'll go to our race winner and subsequently as well our driver of the day, Paul Jones Jr. Well done, mate, for your second win of the season. I said in the stream that qualifying hasn't been your strong suit so far this season, but been quite consistent in the race and very, very good race from yourself. And you must be ecstatic after that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, mate. I'm pretty buzzing with that. I don't know. I mean, I had decent pace in the 5 lappers beforehand, but obviously qualifying's a different kettle of fish. But I've not been too bad on other tracks, but I've not done much around Canada, so I didn't think I would be 11th. I thought I'd maybe top 7, top 8, something like that. But when I was 11th, I was a bit like, oh, this isn't gonna go well. But just kept myself out of trouble. Started on the mediums, quicker tyre, made a few places up, and then as soon as the first safety car came out, I was like, softs, because I just knew there was going to be another one and everyone would have to pit again. Everyone who came in, I thought everyone's going to have to pit again anyway, so I thought I'll go on the softs, try and maximise what I can out of them tyres. And then I'm not going to lie, the safety car, the last one did come out like at the perfect time. Me, Chuckle and Marcus, I think, just literally driving straight towards it. So yeah, pretty happy with that. You guys hear me all right? Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you all right. Yeah, so no, I said you obviously absolutely thrilled about that one. Did you have any warnings? Were you getting close or?
I was on my second, so I was just saying to the lads then, I didn't really push in the last stint because obviously I knew Marcus was reserve and obviously I seen Chuckle had a penalty, so I didn't want to sort of push and then end up getting a penalty because I was on 2 warnings from lap 8. I got me first one on lap 7 and then I got me second one literally the lap later straight after, so I was a bit, yeah, I thought he was going to come at some point, but luckily managed to keep it between the lines.
Yeah, well, that arguably makes it even more impressive, actually, the fact that you did, what, 2/3 of the race, a bit more than that, actually,
Yeah.
with 2 warnings against you. Yeah, it's not too much to say. You sort of went under the radar a little bit. I definitely think, as you said, the safety cars did help you out a little bit, but I suppose that's the luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah. So
No, I'm just. Have you got anything else, Lee? 'Cause I'm actually kind of struggling, to be fair, today.
To be honest, I'm the same. I mean, the safety cars kind of never give a lot of action, so to speak. Yeah, so that was a bit frustrating, I would say, would have been for everybody. I would
yeah,
imagine.
there was quite a few, including like VSCs as well. So I mean, I nearly got a drive through at one point because I think we was coming around the right hander, and you know the chicane at the God, where am I? The hairpin, sorry, the last corner, the last sector, and
Yeah.
it literally when it was ending as I was turning that corner, my time delta just dropped, and I was like, oh
Oh.
no! So I literally slammed on. I don't know how close it was, sort of thing, but yeah, I was a bit lucky there.
Yeah, that's lucky. We did. It was a good race anyway. Apart from when the safety cars were out, again, it was another cracking race. So next week we're in Miami. How do you feel about that one? Is it a strong track for yourself?
I'm gonna be blatantly honest with you. It's possibly one of the ones that I'm not a big fan of. I don't know how quick I am. I'm not even gonna lie. I'll have to look at my streams to see if I've done a league race around there this season, but I'm not confident around there, even being honest. So see how that one goes.
We're just trying to bag as many points as you possibly can.
I mean,
and then move on.
Yeah, I thought about today was damage limitation, and then when obviously I went on the softs and I thought if I could make a few positions up here, because I knew Marcus got stitched up really by the game with his tyres. I knew he couldn't go on the softs because for some reason they didn't give him any. So I knew he was going to go on the hards at the end. So I knew I had a good chance of possibly getting at least P3. So yeah, I just pushed as what I could, and then obviously kept it where I needed to keep it when it was when I was on the morning. So
Joe.
That's the first time I've done that today. Muted myself. Anyway, yeah, Paul, congrats, bud. We'll see you next week.
yeah, cheers, man.
That's all right, no worries. Chuckle, unlucky, mate, for obviously getting that time penalty as well. And obviously, you tried to. I'm assuming you tried to break away, but the DRS was just too powerful around here.
Yeah, silly little mistake right at the beginning of the race, and I knew it'd bite me towards the end. I did try get out of DRS, but just couldn't do it. There's too many DRS zones here. But I just hung on in the end, up for a stay up podium with my pen. That was my aim.
Yeah, well, it's damage limitation, I suppose, isn't it? I mean, obviously, you still bagged quite a few points, and the other thing I'm noticing as well, the three of you that are on the podium today, you're the three at the top of the championship as well. So, just making sure to get as many points as you possibly can, and obviously, it is more of a marathon than a sprint. When did you get your penalty? I can't remember. Was it quite early on? Was it?
It was early on, yeah. It was like 15 or something.
And were you on many warnings after that, or was that kind of?
Matthew asked me that towards the end of the race, actually, and no, I didn't get any after that.
Yeah, because I was saying in the stream just a couple of laps towards the end that you might want to appeal a penalty or something. Obviously, it can happen. So actually, sometimes making sure to get into the lead of a race just to make sure nothing happens. But I'm assuming you just had your fingers crossed that everyone else behind you were going to get 3-second time penalties, but Matthew and Paul were the only ones that didn't.
I think Matthew ended up getting a 3-second penalty. And
yeah, sorry, Quakes it was. Sorry, apologies. Yeah,
Paul kept it clean. Canada's an hard one. You need two things. You need precision driving and pace. And Paul had them both tonight.
Yeah, no, he was excellent, to be fair, and so were you, to be fair. Apart from obviously getting your time penalty, which must be frustrated about. But next week, anyway, Miami. How do you feel about that one? I know we were there a couple of weeks ago. Was it Monday? We were there a couple of weeks ago. No.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was Wednesday.
No, Wednesdays.
Yeah, it was Wednesday. So I can't remember where you finished on Wednesday. Can you remember where you finished last time?
I think I got fourth, actually.
Okay. And how do you enjoy the track, or is it kind of like Paul?
No, same as Paul. It's not one of my strong ones at all. The setup wise, I can't make one and click with it.
You guys say
we'll
that.
Try again.
You guys say that, you see, and I reckon you guys will all be back up there again next week, as you mostly are week in, week out. But anyway, yeah, we'll see you next week, and hopefully you can get one step higher next week for yourself. Because you haven't had a win yet this season, have you? Surprisingly, I'm saying that with actually surprise, because usually
no,
you're quite dominant.
I know I haven't.
Yeah, it's quite dominant in Thursday. So, obviously, what was it? We said it a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? Is it 5 in a row for Thursday?
Yeah, it is. So far, yeah. That's going to be gone this season, I think, with holidays. But
well, we'll see.
It is what it is.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Commiserations, congratulations on your second place.
Cheers, man.
No worries, mate. Matthew, second in the championship, third today. Was that again bit of damage limitation with the penalty? Happy with third?
No, not at all. I don't think.
Okay.
I won't lie to you. Obviously got a point for pole because the person was a reserve who got first. Had good pace on the hards, and I just chose to stay out like a stupid idiot, and then just threw the race away. Really.
Which safety car did you stay out for? Sorry, there's so many.
Every single one of them.
Oh, okay.
Until like lap, I don't know, 20 maybe, and that's when I got the penalty.
Right.
Around that time.
Yeah, because obviously you were fighting with Coix as well. You just kept it ahead of Coix, didn't you? Right at the end, I think.
Yeah, managed to keep in the DRS of Paul and Chuckle ahead. And obviously Coix didn't have DRS on me, so I pulled like a 3-second gap in about 2 laps.
Fair play. That's decent, isn't it? Obviously, you also had a good race last week. So, obviously, winning the first race, how are you feeling about Miami? Can you make it 2 out of 4?
Definitely not.
Nope.
Wednesdays last week, I think it was, finished in the wall.
I think that's all 3 of us, and I hate that track.
I hate Miami.
Yeah, it's like I'm like you, Chuckle. It's just set up. I just don't know what's a decent setup around there, like wing wise, balance, everything.
I
Just such a
can't
track.
click with 'em.
It's not even that for me. I forget the track half the time.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, is it? Sector 1's okay, I think, but then after that, it kind of.
That's the one that I hate. I like Sector 2 and Sector 3. Sector 1's horrible.
See, I don't
I don't
like the bit with the.
surface either.
No, it's quite. Yeah, it's one of those tracks in this game that feels just like it's got like a layer of grease on the surface.
Yeah, it's slippy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, not so most. So I'm assuming then, Matthew, if you're going to do good next week, you're going to have to do another spin and win then. Is this
Oh, I don't want to spin.
to...
I don't want to spin. Because if I spin in Miami, I'll bin it.
Yeah,
Please.
the wall's quite close. Please.
It's Paul's turn to bin it this time.
Well, you can only ask so much of him, can't you? See if we'll take one for the team for you guys. Anyway, thanks very much for joining us for the interviews, chaps. We'll see you next week with Marcus on Monday. I can't remember. Oh, it's Imola on Monday. So keep an eye out for that one around 8 o'clock on Monday. Thanks very much for joining us for this race. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the RTG TV channel, and share the video to your friends who like watching League Race. Anyway, till next Monday, and then next Wednesday with me and Lee. It's goodbye from me and from Lee.